Okay, I will start by, greeting the audience. You can go ahead and eat your banana.
Yeah.
Hello， 大家好，欢迎收看乐手巢，我是今天的主持人 Jon。上一次又访问一个非常特别的来宾，我就再次借用磊哥的话，那这次也还是有一个很特别的来宾，是因为上次是来自香港，那这一次是来自泰国。让我们欢迎来自泰国的 Alec Orachi。
How are you 泰国人？25，杰克 Jackie Alec Orachi。
You can continue eating your banana. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'll start by saying that this is not your first time in Taiwan. So you played in Taiwan before.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, that was at Luckfest, if I remember the name of the English. Yeah, in southern Taiwan, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then you just performed at the Chill Out Festival in Taipei like last weekend, right? So for the last time and this time around, are there any like memorable moments or since it's your second time coming to Taiwan, were there any expectations before coming here and performing to Taiwanese crowd again?
Excited for it because last time when we were here, it was only me and 2 other members.
Right.
The bass and the drums, but the energy of the crowd was still there, So this time we brought trumpet player and guitar player too. So it's bigger bands, and so we expected to, having fun times.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that they cannot be here like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, because just to foreshadow the audience that since you brought out your gear, so we're going to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
If you have your other members here, then we have more gear to talk about.
Yeah, because like the bands that play with me, we call it Saramong the band, and the bassist, guitar, they all have very strange gears that I wish they are here, but maybe next time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is that telling the people that you'll be coming back?
Oh, I want to come back. Taiwan, always.
And then the other interesting thing that we can already see is that a lot of artists, bands, they have their own costumes, right? Including you. But your costume is very special. So it's like construction site.
Yeah.
So we're interested to know like the story behind it, and maybe show us the stuff, the helmet.
Yeah, I mean, the construction theme comes. I'm inspired by construction workers in Thailand.
Oh, okay.
When you go in Bangkok, go on the streets, you see construction workers everywhere.
Right.
So, as I see that every day, I'm kind of intrigued by what they're doing, how they live their life.
Right.
I'm inspired, and I guess I kind of look back at my music, and at that point I was making music as seeing it as like I'm constructing a base for a new kind of music or a new meaning for what I want to put in my music, like the meaning of life, the struggles and everything. So it kind of comes about, and I study architect as well.
Oh, okay.
Architecture, and my drummer guy, he's also an engineer. So it kind of makes sense for us then to embrace this feelings.
Right.
And I always want to get into construction myself,
Okay.
but I never did. So it was like some sort of a dream come true that I get to wear this stuff.
And like you said, you're constructing music now. And then I think a lot of the theme behind your music is the everyday lives. And there's a song like World Like Mine. Yeah, so it's very daily.
Yeah.
So is that sort of your main musical theme?
Yeah, it's before that I kind of make music just for myself, for my own ego,
Right.
But then when there's a song Together, that was a start of me just finding this hat and finding this self, and then World Like Mine comes about after that. So that's kind of what I want to build towards,
Right.
in the future, that talk about everyday's life, what we can do better as a society, the struggles of the people in Thailand, people in Asia, people in the world, and
Right.
that's kind of what I want to talk about. Yeah.
And that's the reason people could resonate to your music, right? Because a lot of people are struggling with their lives.
Yeah, I feel that. I just feel very lucky to be doing this stuff. So I want to be a part of making this world a better place somehow.
Right.
Yeah. the best.
Well, because like music gives people strength.
Yeah.
Right. So even if it's not actually doing like physical stuff, but mentally and psychologically, maybe it's helping a lot of people to go through stuff. And talking about your music as well, and talking about gear, because you mentioned your music is called New World music. Because it is, I would say, very hard to define. Yeah, because it has elements of reggae, pop, alternative, tribal rhythm. And where did you get all these inspirations from? And how did you choose your instruments also? Because in your past performances, we have seen you play the classical guitar, like Fender Jazzmaster, and there was also like a really cool cigar box guitar. Yeah. And then what we have here, is your keyboard and some pedals for your vocals, right? So a lot of audience of our YouTube channel is, they're gear nerds, right? So we'd like to know, what's your kind of reason behind choosing all the different instruments, and how they inspire you to make such music, or was the music that inspired you to pick up certain instruments?
I'll talk about how I get about to this kind of music that I'm on,
Right.
So I'm always into pop, like you listen to different style of music, but there's an element of pop in what I listen to. But I also interested in many kind of music, even if I don't like the whole genres, but there's something that I take that I feel like, oh, there's something that I can catch on, or this sound, or certain feelings that I feel is cool. I'm also into cartoon stuff, so I'm inspired by like cartoon feelings that they gave us. So you might hear some synthesized sound that kind of like childish,
right?
And also just maybe a couple years ago or 3 years ago that around the same time before I found my love with the construction, I was exposed to reggae. I was just found like the love or the passion for reggae as I went to an island in Thailand and found a reggae man who really opened the door for me.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. And so after that, I just been listening to reggae, almost every day. Also, I was into Amy Winehouse jazz, how she sings, and I was in love with that sounds and everything, and it kind of comes together nicely with my love for pop and all this stuff. So then I started to be in love with trumpet sounds. So I started adding that in there too, just putting all that stuff in my music is, so when I make a song, I just, it starts by the feeling you don't really know. So like maybe the world, like for example, like my songs, I have this classic guitar, which is not even mine, it's my brother's. And it's broken, and he draws all these drawings on it, 3,000 baht, like 3,000 Taiwan something.
Very, very close,
but the feelings or the journey that in that guitar, I just have this feeling, at that point of time, I want to hold this guitar.
Right.
So I started with that song, with that guitar, and just, playing that guitar.
Right.
And then starting adding more elements. In that period of time, I used that guitar for 2 songs. That song, and then Together All Day All Night, I also used that guitar, but I also add in my jazz master that I haven't touched for a while. But I just feel like, that song needs some help from my old friends, who's just been sitting there, but he's looking at me, you can feel it. And I'm like, okay.
It's like, hey, pick me up.
Yeah, like, pick me up, I'm not done, just say that to me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put you in, but very soft and very, very low.
Right.
So if you go and listen to in Together All Day All Night, you just hear just a little bit of jazz master in the back with some reverb, just the background sound. So that's how.
Then what was the first instrument that you learned? Was that the guitar then?
Piano.
Piano, okay.
Asian parents send you to, piano lessons. You know it. You know the rest.
Yep. For me, it was like piano or violin, pick one. I was like, okay, violin.
I
picked the violin.
Too. I got piano, and then just found our way to guitar, and bass and whatever other stuff. Yeah.
So like right now, when you have like, let's say, idea for a song, which instrument will you go to first? Or that also depends on that particular inspiration?
I think it really depends. Right now is I'll come up with lyrics first. Like I'll record a bunch of notes,
Right.
melodies and stuff. I just put it in there. But when at home or at a studio that I can work on, then I'm just like, start feeling what I feel. What's the vibe I feel right now? Do I feel like thankful? Do I feel I want to have fun? Do I feel angry? If I feel certain type of feelings, then I start picking up, what do I feel right now? What's the first instrument I want to touch on? Sometimes it's the bass, sometimes it's the classic guitar, sometimes it's just keyboards, or sometimes it's just the drum verse,
Right, okay.
Stuff. Yeah,
Cool.
It's just different
Yeah. So it really depends on the mood, inspiration, or the song.
Yeah.
Since we have, your instruments out, right? And also your costume. So why don't you, we'll start with the costume.
Right.
Okay. Well, the helmet is just a regular helmet.
Well,
right?
this is
Like
not even a real helmet.
Oh, it's not a real helmet.
It's a beer drinking helmet.
Okay. Yeah.
This is from a friend of a friend in Taiwan. He gave it to our friend's band, South Pine. They fly it to Bangkok and they say, our friend in Taiwan want to give it to me. So I had this. And it just works better. But I have my own safety real helmet too.
Okay.
Since I got that, I've just been wearing that.
Okay. Well, it looks like a safety helmet.
Yeah.
But since you're not actually doing construction, so that is fine.
That is fine.
And I also just found out today that what I thought was a safety vest was also not a real safety vest.
No, I made that with the help of my girlfriend. Yeah, and it used to be just a vest, real vest, but I just flipped it. Because the texture inside is just much better,
Right.
Yeah. And then I just put it on, designed it, and made it. And that made of plastic bag.
Okay.
Yeah, just sew it on. My girlfriend sewed that.
Crafty.
And that's just made of tape, man.
Duct tape.
Duct tape. Silver duct tape. And it's not finished, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah. Well, it made me believe that that's a real safety vest.
Yeah. And there's a light here too. I put on this thing. You can turn the lights on here.
Wow.
So unfortunately in Chill Out Festival, I play in the morning, so they can't see the lights. So I didn't turn it on, but if it plays at night, it really is,
Right.
It's nice too, yeah.
Okay, so now you mostly perform with just the keyboard, besides singing into the microphone, obviously.
Right.
Because you mentioned to me, before we started the video, that you don't play the guitar that much on stage.
Yeah. It depends, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's mostly your classical guitar or the Jazzmaster?
I think depends on the place that I'm playing too.
Right.
Yeah, if I play more cozy feeling, I will want to play with my guitar and just lay back a little bit, But Jazzmaster I haven't used for a while, just because maybe I've passed that stage.
Right. Maybe sometime in the future it'll say, it's like, hey, pick me up again.
Yeah. Or maybe you cut design me so you feel better to play me. I don't know. Yeah.
Then onto your keyboard. So how are you using a keyboard, and it's more like a synthesizer?
Yeah, I don't really know. This is not mine. I borrowed from a producer of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, Hiwin. Shout out Hiwin. I think it's Jupiter XM. Maybe it's synthesized keyboard. I don't know. It makes sounds. Yeah.
So why don't you show us some of the main sounds that you use in certain songs?
Right. So this keyboard, it has a lot of preset sounds, and this is one of the sounds that I use a lot, just like in FX,
Right.
Yeah, I use this sound a lot, like at the start or at some parts of my show that, you know,
Right.
just express my feelings, stuff like that. And there's this sound, very mysterious. There's that sound, and this sound. That's a sing. That's just a sound, like, cause they with this keyboard, like it can mix the sounds. So I just mix a lot of like strings and maybe some Juno keyboard sounds in here too, and some choir. So it just mixes into this sound. And then just this. This is for one of the like fun song, like upbeat song. I'll use this with some effects. And then some. Use that because like you can like split in what sound you want. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean. They know what I mean. I don't know too much about like equipments too much, so I respect everyone who knows more than me, and I know I don't know a lot, so respect to y'all. Be easy on me.
Well, as long as you know how to use it and perform with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, you know, different people have different roles.
Yeah.
Right? You know, you could have a tech that knows everything and he designed it for you, so you just have to focus on playing and performing.
Yeah. But this stuff, I chose the sound, and yeah, I just use some effects here and stuff here, and yeah.
So you would sing and use effects at the same time?
Yeah, like I don't use it every song. I only use
Right.
like, you know, the last part of the show I will use the keyboards more, because at the start I wanted to, you know, I want the audience to get my energy first. I want to, you know, kind of like guide them like, oh, you gotta move like this. But at the end of the show, I would just feel like, okay, I'm gonna play something now to give this more full show, but you can now do your thing.
Right.
I'm not gonna guide you anymore. That's my thinking for that. Yeah.
Cool.
In some shows that I do with more, if it's in a festival that's more like they into electro party,
Right.
electro music, I will play some, like, cause you can play the loop. We'll play like, I'll just do that too, you know, in some parts of this. Yeah, we range a lot of stuff, so yeah, it's really, one of the essential instrument for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And onto your pedal board, which
Right.
looks like a guitar pedal board, but it's not for guitar.
It's not for guitar, yeah. It used to be for my jazz master, but it's not anymore.
And then now you use it for vocals.
Yeah, vocals.
So we'd like to know, like, what inspired you to take your guitar pedal board and make it into your vocal pedal board?
Well, I just wanted to have this delay sound on my vocal on one of my songs, you know, and I just don't have the money to buy the vocal
Right, yeah.
thing. So I'm just, I've seen some people does it, so I'm like, why not? And I don't use the effects anyway, so I'm like, I might as well put it in good use.
Right.
Yeah, so I just have it here.
Can you kind of demonstrate for us?
Yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear.
Yeah.
Let's try it. I do that in some part, and then like, and then it's just big echo stuff with this alter ego, and that stuff. and maybe some like in some shows that is more at a place where it's a bit more like, I don't know how to say it, but religious feelings.
Okay.
Then I would just do something like that.
So are there a lot of like a freestyling or like, like jam sessions within your live performances then? Like it depends on like the crowd, and then you would react to the crowd and see how they go, and you might add in parts. And would you do that?
I do that sometimes. I do
Right.
that with what I say and
Okay.
stuff. And in a lot of my songs, I wouldn't sing the same as my tracks.
Right.
Or even the lyrics, Like if I come to like go abroad, like some part of my song, if I speak in Thai, I know the audience in Thai will get the words. But
Right.
when I come abroad, if I want the audience to get it too, I kind of want to switch it up to English or in their language. But in Chill Out, I don't have enough time to like learn the language. So I was a bit gutted that I didn't. But yeah, you do that. And then the members also, some other members also change it up a little bit too. Yeah.
Right.
Depends on the vibe and the stage and everything. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason why live performances are sometimes like more interesting and better than
True.
listening to like CDs or or like the recording.
Yeah,
because there's an element of, well, not necessarily surprise, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because if it sounds exactly the same as the recording, then why don't you just listen to the music at home?
Yeah.
Right? You want the live like vibe.
Exactly.
And all the atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah. Because you listen to music at home, you listen to the sound, but when you live, you listen to the sound, but also you see it.
Yeah.
So you gotta see it.
I would say, especially with your performances, because again, with your stage costume and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I would say, your live shows are better than just listening to your music.
For sure.
Okay, so there's one question that I said we would come back to, which we're very curious, and I don't know if this will need to be cut out, but I'll ask anyway.
Okay.
On your YouTube channel, okay, we know that you had one video which is called How I Become Free.
Yeah.
That song or that video explains the concept behind your album Free to Go.
Right.
Was that a real story?
Yeah. Right.
I would guess part of it is real because you just said you went to Ireland and you met the reggae people.
Yeah.
Right? So how much of that story is real?
That whole video is me just improvising, freestyling the whole thing, right? Yeah, that was all true story. I was just telling a friend the story because my friend was recording that, we were just chilling, chilling, hanging out, and I just picked the guitar and just the energy is there. So I just started telling the stories, and I think it's real. I don't remember what I say.
Okay.
But I think all of it is what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned shrooms.
Oh. Yeah.
So that's why I asked. It's like, hey, was that real? Because I know like weed is legal in Thai.
Yeah. I mean,
so
I don't remember what I say all of it, but that's true. And there's, I don't know. It's true stories.
Were you free during the filming of that video then?
Already free after that experience, and I'm always be free, soberly.
Okay.
Like after that, I've just been free because everything I do is just, myself. Reasoning behind everything I do is just myself. So I'm always free. I'm always high on life.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that concludes our interview today.
Right.
Once again, thank you very much. And nice to have you in Taiwan again. And
For sure,
again,
man.
Hopefully you'll come back and perform, to the people in Taiwan.
Yeah, I would love to, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
OK， 好，我们今天的节目到这边，我们再次谢谢 Alec Orachi，
谢谢 guys，
好，
我爱你，
拜拜，
拜拜。